Rockers in Recovery Media is dedicated to carrying the message of addiction recovery through music, news, events, and festivals taking place within and not limited to the clean and sober community.
I wanted to just express, the hope that Alexa has brought to the recovery community. We're going to bring her friend Sam on and talk about that. Sam, welcome to the show.
Hey, John. Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, no problem, brother. I know this is a hard time, she lost her battle from cancer on February 9th, and I'm sure it's turned everybody's world upside down. And I gave a little bit of an informational on the beginning part of this, but can you tell us, the history of Alexa and the hope that she's given to the recovery community?
Yeah, absolutely. It happened this past Friday. I got woken up at about 5 in the morning by my girlfriend, and it was a rough morning. With how strong that girl is and how much she kept fighting, I never really thought the day would come. She just kept beating all these obstacles. Originally when she was diagnosed, they told her she had a couple months to live, and she fought for 2 years. And when it finally happened, it was heartbreaking, and that was the hardest I think I've ever cried in my life. There's just something about her story that gets to me. But she wouldn't want us to harp on that, and that's just the type of person that she was. Let me tell you a little bit about her story. I got some information here from her boyfriend Jarrett, who is a very close friend of mine and also one of our employees at Amethyst. Jarrett has been with her for a little over 3 years. They met actually when they were both in sober living, and there's some funny stories about Jarrett getting caught trying to sneak out and her getting caught trying to sneak out, and they had an interesting start to their relationship. So, but they always stuck together through it. So, Alexa, she's been through a lot. This is a girl who lost her sister in 2008, followed by her mother in 2011 and her father in 2013. She was 22 years old, and she lost all 3 of her immediate family members. And she has no other brothers or sisters, and she lived with her grandparents. And she turned to substances, and she had a really bad dark run. And she had told me multiple times she had attempted suicide and had no value whatsoever for life. And I think she was actually living on the streets at the end. And there's a group up in New Jersey called Recovery Advocates that got a hold of her and got a hold of her story and were inspired by it. And they got her sent down here to Florida. And she went to a treatment center down here. She got out and she did everything they told her to do. And she went to halfway after, and she stuck to it, and she stayed committed. And, she started her journey to sobriety. I met Alexa in 2014. This was before Amethyst was even open. We were actually setting up the facility. We were painting the walls and putting the floors in. And she came in to help out, and she was helping out kind of build it and, put stuff together. And we had to go to Walmart to go shopping, I'll never forget. And she said, I'll come with you. And, I'd never met her before, and we drove to Walmart. We were in one of those, it was kind of new back then, but we were in a keyless car. And somehow we drove this car to Walmart with a keyless car in it, and it was like, 20 miles away. It was far. And we got stuck at the parking lot. We didn't realize that we were walking out of Walmart with all these bags and, all this stuff that we had no keys to the car. So we ended up getting stuck there for a couple hours, and we just started kind of talking, and she started telling me her story. And, it was one of the most inspiring stories I've ever heard. About a year after I know her, we were actually all at dinner one night, and she started saying, she lived with me at this time. Jarrett and her moved in with me, so they were my roommates. And she started saying that she was having headaches at dinner, and we were like, yeah, it's just a headache, nothing big. I told her, go home, eat an Advil, drink a Red Bull, the caffeine will help, go sit in a dark room and put a wet towel on your head, you're going to be fine. And she was driving home from dinner, and she started to get really dizzy, and she thought she was going to pass out. And we were like, all right, this is probably a little more serious. So she went into the hospital, and they they said, oh my God, this is really bad. She was about to have I forget what the term is for it, but something was about to rupture in her brain. So they put her in immediate surgery, and this doctor was able to remove a lot of the tumor, and they cultured the tumor, and they found out that it was this rare type of cancer called glioblastoma, and it's a very rare cancer. It does not happen in young people pretty much ever. There was I think we looked it up, 10 cases of it, people under 50 years old in the United States last year. So it's very rare. And, they diagnosed her with it. And, once you get the diagnosis and the first tumor with that, they tell you got about 60 to 90 days to live. And that's what they told her. They told her she had 60 to 90 days to live. So, this girl is in the hospital, and she has gotten sober. She's a little over a year sober. She's lost her entire family, and she's told she has 60 days to live. And that was powerful. So she said, no, I don't, and I'm going to fight this, and I'm going to win. And she started fighting it. She started going up to Duke University. I was actually able to myself harass this doctor at Duke tremendously, to the point where he finally said, all right, you know what, I'll talk to her. And he looked at her, and he heard her story, and he took her up there, and she started some trials, treatment up there, and she was going back and forth from up there. And she was living me during this time. So, I saw her going through chemo, and she'd lose her hair and radiation, and then her hair would grow back, and then she'd lose it again. For 2 years, she battled that, all while staying sober. And she would go to meetings and speak to kids. And she would, continue to smile and show happiness. And meanwhile, all while she was battling this horrible disease. And I'll never forget, we were at a meeting over at one of the other treatment centers one time, and she was speaking to the kids, and she told them her story. And at the end of it, she stood up and she said a few curse words, and she kind of looked up and said, if I can do this and I'm able to stay sober through all this, then what is your excuse? And it was one of the most powerful moments. I was crying and very emotional with it, and I would be shocked if every person in the room wasn't extremely moved and didn't really take a look at, moving forward to their sobriety after hearing that. So that was really, really powerful. And as time went on, she started to fade. She started having to take a lot of steroids, and it caused her to really swell up, and she had a lot of swelling, and she gained a lot of water weight. She just slowly deteriorated. And I went up to Duke to visit her about 2 weeks ago, and we spent some time with her, and we had a lot of laughs and a lot of cries, and it was special though. We had a really special relationship, and this girl was like my little sister, and I really loved her, and it's hard, it's really sad, but it's a powerful story, and it shows you the power of truly do your steps, and you have a sponsor and you build that support group that you truly can get through anything. There's nothing in sobriety that you can't get through. So I thought that was, really powerful.
Amazing story, man. And here's, it brings you to the point where Meg later said you don't pick up no matter what. And she's a living example of that, or was a living example of that. And in her history and in her legacy, that's what people will remember.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the legacy she wanted to leave. She said, she would always say that, if I go, I want people to hear my story, and I want people to know that I did this. And, I'll never forget, I was up there. The nurse came in with a little cup with pain medication, and she looked at her and she said, "Are you crazy? I'm sober. I'm in recovery." And me and Jared kind of looked at each other. That was her boyfriend, and we like, "Are you serious? Like, it's okay. Like, you can take pain medication. It's not a relapse." And she refused it, all the way to the bitter end. And, wow. I would hope that if I was in a position like that, I would be able to do the same thing. She wanted to die sober, and, she got her wish. Very honorable.
Amazing story. Also, just so everybody is aware, Alexa is going to, her final request was to be laid to rest with her sister, Desiree. And that is in New Jersey. And we put up some GoFundMe pages on Rockers in Recovery, and also on Rockers in Recovery on Facebook. And if you go to Help Lay Our Angel of Hope to Rest on GoFundMe, you will be able to find her information. And also listening right now on our page here on Blog Talk, you can click on the GoFundMe at the bottom, and you can help out with the cause. Over the last couple of days, they've been able to raise a little over $5,000. Our goal is to raise $8,000. If you could help out with that mission, we would really appreciate it. Sam, in closing, I wanted to ask you if you could to please just talk about, because, again, when you go through something like this, it's traumatic. And everybody that was with her until the end, they're going through their own stuff right now. And how do you deal with that? How do you deal with, dealing with the aftermath of something like this?
Sure. Yeah, let me touch that. And then, John, I had a couple close family members of her who wanted me to just read something, a little memory of her, so I'll finish up with that. But, when you're going through something like that, it's important, to obviously stay close to the ones you love and gain the support from them. And it's also important to remember that, Alexa would always say, she was like, if I go, it's not the end of the world. I get to go be with my family, that girl stared death in the eyes like it was nothing. She was able to handle it. And she would always say, like, the number one thing is, if anything happens to me, she would always ask, please make sure Jarrett's okay. Please make sure Jarrett's okay. That was all she cared about, others, making sure that everyone else was okay and that they were sober. And, to honor her legacy, it's important that we all continue to remain sober and continue to remain helping other people with our stories. So, that's the number one thing you can do is just honor the remembrance of her and continue, to stay sober and, continue to remember her story and to share it. So, another thing I thought was really powerful that I forgot to mention was that she donated her brain to research too. She wanted other people that, suffered from the glioblastoma to receive that, so that, her brain was donated. But I had a couple things I wanted to read. When I was up at Duke, one of her closest friends, who was actually friends with her sister, who passed away of an overdose, like I said, in 2007, said that, her quote to leave Alexa was, "A hero is an ordinary individual who finds the strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles." So I thought that was powerful. And then on the blog, my mom quoted in the interview that when she was talking to Alexa, this was about a year after she was diagnosed, she said, if someone were to ask me what my dying wish is or what I want to come out of all this tragedy, I would say that all my trials and tribulations have not stopped me from doing God's work. My work, my gift is to share my story. I believe that that is my purpose in life. I want to share my experience, strength, and hope with others, especially with young girls and women who are fighting this disease.
Amazing.
Of addiction. She adds, you see, this was never really just about me. It's about all the people I believe I can encourage to fight on, no matter what the challenges they face. If they can do this, if I can do this, so can they. She stopped and quietly said, we're never promised tomorrow. And then I wanted to read a little something that Jarrett sent me that I thought was very touching. And he said, from the moment I met Alexa, I knew there was something special about her. She was beautifully broken, and that was my first impression of her. I knew what I was getting into, and I accepted the challenge head on. Alexa wore her heart on her sleeve, yet she was a very guarded and hesitant. She had endured more pain in the 22 years of her short life than most people experienced in several lifetimes. She was the other half of myself, and I was searching for my entire life. She yearned to be loved, but not the superficial type, the type of love that knew no boundaries. When she loved, she gave her entire self and loved hard. If you were to ask me how Alexa would like to be remembered, I would say it would have been her will to survive. Everything she had been through in life was in preparation for something bigger than herself. Alexa had an unbreakable faith despite the trials and tribulations she faced. She'd want people to know that they can recover no matter what, and the disease of addiction is a lie. Even up to her last few days on earth, she would tell me, this was never really about me. I'll be okay. She knew that her time here was being used for a greater purpose. She really got a high from helping other people and helping other women face their demons in recovery, and it was her calling. There were some days she couldn't even get out of bed. She was physically drained from the chemo and radiation, but her sponsees came before her health. She was my little New Jersey Spitfire and would tell me that there's no time for self-pity and shit. We have work to do. So she was always the type to put others in front of herself.
Amazing.
So that was, something that Jarrett left on her, and he knew her better than anybody else, and he was the closest with her, in her final 4 years. So I thought that was very powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. Matter of fact, we have a caller on the line. I want to bring them on and see if they have the message for us. Hold on one second, okay?
Sure.
Welcome to Rockers in Recovery. Would love to hear your message. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, my name is Danielle Herold. How are you guys doing tonight?
Hi, Danielle.
Hi.
You're the person that started the GoFundMe page, correct?
I am. I won't keep you guys long. I just wanted to say a couple words. Alexa was my first cousin. Her father was my mom's brother. I've known her since she was a baby. And I think it's really beautiful and profound, all the kind words everyone has shared about her. And, the day after she passed, I was able to really, truly see the support and the life she built for herself out in Florida. So all of us in New Jersey definitely thank everyone for being there and supporting her and loving her. And, it's really a blessing. My family has really been through a lot over these couple years, but, Alexa always made it about helping others. And I would like to say that my sobriety date is July 18th of 2013. And,
okay.
Addiction has
Congratulations.
throughout, thank you, addiction has hit a few of our family members, to say the least. But, I just wanted to say something that, some words from her family for you guys, just so everybody, how special she really was to us, and words that, I think others would have used to describe her would be remarkable, compassionate, beautiful, and caring. And, we could go on forever to really talk about just how beautiful and perfect she was, and we will miss her forever. But, something my mom had discovered today and shared with me that I shared with Jared, the meaning behind her name, it really fits her. Alexa is the defender of man, who is a true helper, and, something like that is just so profound, and, I think her legacy will live on, and many will never forget her smile and just everything that she's endured and she's been through. So I just wanted to make sure, I was able to call in and show up, and really thank you all for really being there for all of us. She's an angel, and I know she's always wanted to be with her family, and it's really important that we have the love and support to really do that for her. So we really thank you from her family in New Jersey.
If you could,
Thank
it would
you,
be
Danielle.
a great. Yeah, thank you for calling in. But most importantly, if you could, I know that you're raising funds. Could you give your information so people could contact you, and also the GoFundMe page?
I absolutely can. Would it be okay that I give you my email? Is that okay?
Yeah,
or?
Absolutely.
Okay. So my email is Danielle, Danielle, last name Herold, Herold 712 @gmail.com, and I will reshare the GoFundMe page on Alexa and Jared's page. And Jared and I, funny enough, I was driving home on the turnpike from work and trying to get the information, so I appreciate he was able to give me the information so I could call in and speak to you guys. I didn't think I'd get through, but I'm glad we were able to connect. So
much love, and you're in our prayers. And
thank you very much.
We, of course, when you have a story like this, it's heartbreaking, but it's inspirational, and people need to hear that. Mad, glad, or sad, you don't pick up no matter what, and this is an inspirational story of somebody that went through the most traumatic situation until the very end. Her recovery was the most important thing, and that's what this story is about. And in closing,
I just wanted to tell you this just really quick. So anybody's on the line is struggling or can't figure out if this is going to work for you, or is doubting about picking up a drink or a drug. Grief is a really, really tricky beast, and it's really hard to get through. And all her family members I lost with her too, and I can just tell you what I've learned through the disease of addiction and the things that I have learned about myself through working an honest program. You definitely do not pick up under any and all circumstances. There's definitely a better way, and I found the way through this program, so I'm truly blessed, and just wanted to share that for anybody that is having a hard time tonight.
Beautiful
Thanks,
story.
Danielle.
And Sam, I wanted to bring you back into the conversation, because since we're all talking about it, I mean, listen, when you're dealing with trauma, because this creates trauma, and you start to deal with the emotions and you start to deal with all of those things, you got to go through that grieving process. That grieving process is something that, I had to go through with the death of loved ones. This is a traumatic situation, and they have to deal with that. What are some of the ways that people can be dealing with that? With the anger and all of the things.
Sam, you go first.
Going through it right now.
Yeah.
I'm going through it right now. There's definitely a process to it, and then it's a lot of different emotions, and it's a lot of ups and downs. When it initially happened, I was in shock, and from that to tears. I was just looking through a text message with Jarrett, and one thing that really made me happy was the night before she passed on Thursday, I texted him. I said, "How's she doing? Please give her a big hug and make sure she knows I love her." And he said, "I will." And I know that when Alexa went, that she was able to go with knowing the fact that there was so many people out there who loved her and were rooting for her and in her circle and had her back, and she really got to experience something in life that not many of us got to experience. So knowing that was really able to help. But like I said, it's just an array of emotions, and just like I said, being around my loved ones and being around my sober support and talking about it and not holding it in, and it's okay to have those emotions, and to get it out there, and to this is when I need to get into my prayers and my spiritual life and get into my meetings more than ever. So just staying connected and doubling down on all of the stuff that got me to where I am today has been the most important thing, and that would be my recommendation to anyone else who's going through the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Danielle, what would you like to say?
I would just like to say that, the program itself is a blessing from God for me, and I have met so many people, and I've been reconnected with family members, and just really shown just how beautiful life really is. And when I go through trauma and the trauma I've experienced, I have to turn it over, and I haven't hit my knees in a while. It's something that I work on a daily basis, my meditation and my prayer life. But I just thank God that Alexa can be with her family and with our family. Even when I question my faith, I have to believe that this was the plan. And just like Sam said, you have to stay connected. You have to talk to people. I can't tell you how many phone calls I've received, whether or not I want to talk to people because I'm processing my grief. I think the most important thing is to stay open and to stay honest, and you just really have to let everybody know where you're at. And it's just helped me through. I think the program is something that is so beautiful, and recovery just really kind of shows you how to love and how to receive love, and just really how to embrace it all. It's just got to keep going one foot in front of the other. And I just wanted to say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I sit here and I think about what my cousin would say to me, what Alexa and Desi would both say to me, right? Strength runs in our family, and we're all pretty tough cookies, and I could picture them both looking at me and say, "Are you kidding me? Why are you acting like this? Get yourself together. You are going to be okay." And it just helps me get through every single day when I think about the both of them.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Sam,
I
you wanted to say something?
This is what Jarrett posted, and when I read it, I was in tears. I mean, it was extremely inspirational, but this is what he posted on Facebook, because I know a lot of people had reached out to him and tried to call him, and he had so much support that I know he couldn't get back to everyone. So he said, "I just wanted to take a second to thank everyone that's reached out to me recently. A lot of people have been concerned about me resorting to a drink or a drug to cope. I can assure you that using is no longer an option for me. The thought hasn't even crossed my mind. I didn't come this far to throw everything away, and Alexa didn't fight this hard for so long to watch me kill myself from heaven. It would be selfish and a complete disrespect to do so. If I can watch someone lose most of her immediate family, get diagnosed with fatal brain cancer, and still remain to fight sober through the process day in and day out, my petty self-righteous excuses are invalid. My recovery is my life, just as it was hers, and if I pick up, that life is gone. Simple as that. Without pain, there is no growth, and I'm fully confident that I will bounce back stronger, more focused, and determined than ever before. My work is my life, and she supported me 110% through that. I will use this as the fuel to fire and help as many people as I can with her story and my pain, because I know that's all she ever wanted. It's only in truly losing yourself in the service of others is where you truly find yourself. I thought that was extremely powerful when I read that.
Amazing. And to hold his footing and have his surroundings, and his, most importantly, in those surroundings, his support group, folks like yourself and many others. You gotta really attach to as you're going through something like this, you really have to attach to your support group and speak and talk about your feelings, because if you're not, eventually you just bury your head in the sand, and that's not a good way, and most times not a good ending. So, again, I want to thank everybody for being on the show tonight, Danielle, Sam, and talking about
Danielle,
a
thank you for calling. I didn't even know that you were coming on, and I really appreciate that, and that meant a lot to me to have support. I know Jarrett was still struggling and wasn't able to do it, but I wanted to really thank you for that.
Of course. I honestly don't know how I figured it out, guys, but there was a number on, and I clicked on it, and it connected me and said, please hold. So always God's will, not mine. So I'm really glad that I was able to talk with you guys tonight. I really do. And, again, we all thank you guys from New Jersey for really being there for her and being there for us. So we really appreciate it and love it, you all, very much.
Beautiful stuff. Alexa's story, and summed up by Sam and her cousin Danielle. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. And, guys, again, if you could support the effort of helping Alexa get home to be buried with her sister, Desiree. And I just put up the link on Facebook to the GoFundMe page, so it's at Rockers in Recovery on Facebook. You can go right there and make a donation. Also,
one last thing, John, to leave off, too, is my mom is writing a part 2 to the blog she wrote now. She wrote that part 1 about a year ago, so there will be a part 2, and she is going to finalize it out and summarize it all up. So I hope that we'll post it on our website, so I hope that people are able to read that, because it's going to be really powerful.
Yeah, something, we have the blog up, the part 1, and you can check that out at Facebook, too, at Rockers in Recovery on Facebook also. And, again, Sam, our condolences to you, the Amethyst family, and Danielle, to you and your family. And you guys are always welcome to come back in the future and talk about her legacy or anything that you might be doing for her, or, in her name, and supporting, her recovery in the future to help other people.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.
God bless.
Thanks,
we'll
guys.
Talk soon. Sam, thank you for being on the show, guys. All right, guys, we're here at Rockers in Recovery. You can check us out at rockersinrecovery.com. It's a great show, great information about, of course, Alexa, her story of hope, and her message of hope. And we want to thank everybody for tuning in. We look forward to hearing more about her legacy in the future with an upcoming blog that will be put out in regards to, Alexa's story and her life. And again, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. God bless Alexa, and we wish you a great night. Thank you.
Just fight a little longer, my friend. It's all worth it in the end. But when you got nobody to turn to, just hold on and I'll find you. I'll find you. I'll find you. Just hold on and I'll find you.
I'm hanging on by a thread, and all I'm clinging to is prayers. And every breath is like a battle. I feel like I ain't come prepared. And death's knocking on the front door. Pain's creeping through the back. Fears crawling through the windows, waiting for them to attack. They say don't get bitter, get better. I'm working on switching them letters. But tell God I'ma need a whole lot of hope keeping it together. I'm smiling in everyone's face. I'm crying whenever they leave the room. They don't know the battle I face. They don't understand what I'm going through. The world trying to play with my soul. I'm just trying to find where to go. I'm trying to remember the way. I'm trying to get back to my home. But I can't do this on my own. That's why I'm just trusting in you. Cause I don't know where else to go. And I don't know what else to do.
Just fight a little longer, my friend. It's all worth it in the end. But when you got nobody to turn to, just hold on and I'll find you. Just fight a little longer, my friend. It's all worth it in the end. But when you got nobody to turn to, just hold on and I'll find you. I'll find you. I'll find you. Just hold on and I'll find you. I'll find you. I'll find you. Just hold on and I'll find you.
They say fear haunts you and pain hates. I say pain strengthens and fear drives faith. And I don't know all of the outcomes, don't know what happens tomorrow. But when that ocean of doubt comes, don't let me drown in my sorrow. And don't let me stay at the bottom. I feel like this hole is too deep to climb. I've been looking for a way out, but I settle for a peace of mind. Picking up the pieces of my life and hoping that I put together something right. Tell me all I got is all I need. Tell me you gon' help me stay and fight. The world tryna play with my soul. I'm just tryna find where to go. I'm tryna remember the way. I'm tryna get back to my home. But I can't do this on my own. That's why I'm just trusting in you. Cause I don't know where else to go. And I don't know what else to do.
No, don't let the fear make you feel like you can't fight this on your own. You know I'll be there for you no matter where you go. You'll never be alone. No, just fight a little longer, my friend. It's all worth it in the end. But when you got nobody to turn to, just hold on and I'll find you. Just fight a little longer, my friend. It's all worth it in the end. But when you got nobody to turn to, just hold on and I'll find you. Just fight a little longer, my friend. It's all worth it in the end. But when you got nobody to turn to, just hold on and I'll find you. I'll find you. I'll find you. Just hold on and I'll find you. I'll find you. I'll find you. Just hold on and I'll find you.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.